Hey everyone, and welcome back. It's been a long winter and we're starting off by summarizing my parents' boat here. It's a 5.0 GI Volvo. A lot of your stuff is going to be familiar, but in this case with the Volvo there's some little differences. So we're going to go ahead and get to summarizing this one. And if you have other motors, stay tuned in the future. I'll be uploading lots more this spring on summarization. So go ahead, and every boat's different of course. Get it so you can access it if you can. This boat's a Regal and they make them really nice and easy to work on. You can just push these panels away and get right down there, so it's easier for me to film. That's why I chose this boat. Alright, so let's get started, and we'll do just a basic summarization. There's lots of other stuff you can do, like your fuel water separator, impeller, and all that stuff, but this is just connecting all your hoses and block plugs so you don't miss anything. Alright, so we're first going to start off with our hoses. So if you have the earlier motors, you can remove these. I pull these off. Each one of these go to your manifold. So connect these two. There's one, there's two, and those are for your manifolds. I'll tighten those up. What I was saying earlier about this being an earlier motor with the VST on the back, the high pressure on the back, this goes to it. I always pour coolant in here and it runs through, and then that won't freeze. You put that on, and you can tighten that up. And then next, take your thermostat housing hose here and pull it off. I always flip them over, so yeah, I can dump coolant in them. So you flip it back over. You got to connect that on the bottom and the top. But first, before you do that, to make it easier on yourself, we'll go down and attach our water pump. Alright, so for your impeller now, these are down here. You can put these on backwards. It's very hard to. They're usually a different size. You really got to try to. So anyways, these ones, as you can see, that's the way they go. Slide these two on and tighten them up, and then we'll get to putting our thermostat housing hose on, because it goes here. And that's why I said to wait to put that on, because it's easier to get to these. Alright, so with those now connected, I usually face the nuts upwards, and then I can use the nut driver on it. It makes it a lot more simple to get to, especially in the fall when you're laying on top pulling them, because usually the water's all over. You want to be up high. Anyways, take your thermostat housing hose now and throw that on. Alright, so that hose just goes up through there, connects on the bottom, and then we're onto our plugs. So we got one manifold plug and one block plug on each side. Most mechanics set them in here, so that's a good spot to find them if you're doing it yourself. You'll find your manifolds will either have one in the center here, a drain, or on the back. On this model they're in the back, and every plug is different because anybody can thread plugs in. They're just pipe threads, so if they ever need to be replaced, they can be 1/2 inch, 9/16, whatever. So that's why I'm not going to recommend a size, but these in this case are 9/16. So you come to the back here. I'll try and get the camera in there. They're right at the back of the manifold here. You got to use a wrench, start them by hand, get that in there, and then tighten that up. And then you come down underneath here, and if you got an oil pressure sensor right here, it'll be right in the side of that, right here. And again, every model's different. Some have different oil pressure sensors and stuff, so they might not thread in this side. But on this particular one, that's where that one threads into, right there. So get those two plugs in and we'll move to the other side. Alright, here on your port side, you take your plugs, same thing. In this case, this one threads right into the block, and thread that into there, and then go to the back here of your manifold again. I can't show you, but it's right right there. Thread that in. A stubby wrench usually helps. A 9/16 stubby. That's right there. Thread those in and we're done. Alright, so that's all your plugs in the motor. Just go around and double check, make sure your top thermostat housing hose is on. Grab all your hoses, make sure everything's tight here. Make sure you got one manifold plug in, one block plug in over there, one manifold plug here, one down there tightened. Make sure that your water pump impeller 2 hoses are on there and your bottom thermostat housing hose are on. Most boats are winterized this way, and this should be a pretty universal summerization. Just make sure all your hoses are connected, and next step is to start it up, which we're going to do, and check for leaks. Alright, with your muffs attached, or whatever flushing device you have, I prefer the dual sided flushers here, so you can get it into both sides there. Go ahead and start your motor and wait for it to pump out the back here. It'll take a while because it has to fill up your whole boat motor again and get the water flowing through. Alright guys, that's how to summarize 5.0 Volvo GI. If this video helped you, please give the channel a like and a subscribe. And like I said, there's more you can do for summarization, but this is just your simple, all your hoses connected and replug procedure, and run and test. And you should be set for boating. Make sure you put your plug in. Thanks for watching, guys. As always guys, thanks for watching, and please give the channel a like and a subscribe. If my videos interest you, please click on my channel and check out my other videos.